Hey, Christy here, and I'm going to cook supper for you tonight. Steak, green beans, and mashed potatoes. I'm going to start with my green beans because I like to let my beans cook for 2 to 3 hours. So I am going to use Hanover. Hanover is my favorite canned beans. Okay, so I'm going to start just by pouring those into my pot. And then I'm going to add a little bit of bacon grease, just about a tablespoon. In the South, you'll find that we cook with a lot of bacon grease. Green beans, cabbage, you name it, it's going in. And I'm going to turn my stove to high and cover these beans and just wait for them to come to a boil. Now that they've come to a boil, I'm going to turn them down to almost low, not quite low, but almost low. And I'm going to release some of that heat and give them a quick stir. And then I'm going to cover them up, and I'm just going to let them simmer for a couple of hours until we're ready to eat supper. My green beans are simmering. They smell so good. I pulled my steaks from the fridge. They've been marinating for 2 hours. I marinated them in Lowry's Signature Steakhouse marinade sauce. This stuff is good. Garlic, onion, red bell pepper. I mean, you know, what's not to like? So right now I'm going to prepare my potatoes and show you how I cook them in the instant. I have my potatoes already peeled, cut, and ready to go in the Instant Pot. Generally, I do 2 potatoes per person, but it's just Bruce and I tonight. And so I did a little extra for him because that boy loves some taters. So generally I use chicken broth. You need at least 1 cup of liquid in your Instant Pot. And so normally I'll use chicken broth when I do my mashed potatoes, but I'm out. So I'm kind of sad about that. So I'm just going to use a cup of water. I am going to add a cup of liquid to the Instant Pot insert. And then I'm going to put my trivet in there so that my potatoes won't stick to the bottom of the pot. Next, I'm going to place the insert into the Instant Pot. Make sure it's plugged in. And then I'm going to lock the lid on and set it to seal. I want to set that for 10 minutes on pressure cook, and that is going to make sure that those potatoes are good and tender when they're done cooking. They are done cooking now. I'm going to release the steam and check it out. Nice tender potatoes. I'm going to remove that trivet. Cut up a stick of butter in there. Add a little milk. Some salt and pepper. And I'm just going to keep adding milk and mashing those potatoes until they're the consistency that I want. Next, I'm going to lock the lid. I'm going to press keep warm until I'm ready to plate. I've started to preheat my grill so it's nice and hot when I put our steaks on. Now I'm just going to finish preparing these and getting them ready. First thing I'm going to do is just kind of blot some of that marinade off so that it doesn't smoke up my grill too much when I put them on. And I'm going to lay them on there. Listen to that sizzle. Doesn't that sound awesome? I'll just kind of rearrange them where I want them, and then I'll just cook them for a few minutes before I flip them over. Okay, those are looking so good. I'm just going to flip them and put them back in for a couple more minutes. Then I'm going to take them out and put them under a tinfoil tent until I'm ready to plate. You want to make sure they rest a little bit. I remembered I had some French bread, so I set my air crisp to 360 for about 4 minutes and made some garlic cheesy bread. Just buttered my bread really well and arranged them in my air fryer basket. Next, I added a little garlic and a sprinkle of cheese. And I let those cook about 3 minutes. They came out very crispy on the outside, soft in the center, and now it's time to plate.
I'm eating steak. Steak. I'm eating steak. Tonight, I'm eating steak.
Thanks for joining me in my kitchen. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, like, and click the bell.